if you're feeling any tension, if you're feeling any negativity, stay in contact with this fountain of light right at the center of your heart and notice what happens to the tension. It melts away in a way that brings actual physical relief, actual relaxation of the physical body. So this can help with sleep. This can help with you being in contact with the energy of wholeness if you're healing anything physically or emotionally or mentally or on any level. And then negativity, if you become aware of any negativity within yourself or within anyone else that they're experiencing it or feeling it or energizing it, stay in contact with this fountain of light at the center of your heart and just notice what happens. It transforms. There's no room for it in your energy field if you stay with that flowing fountain of light. Good morning, welcome. 1,000 welcomes. It's such a great joy to meditate together in the light. And we're starting a new series today. The topic is Open to Clarity and Peace. And I'm smiling to myself because that topic has been scheduled for at least a month. And then we all wake up and we remember the importance vitally in this moment of opening to clarity and peace. And so we're also reminding ourselves, and I'll just share this, one of the laws of energy as it is articulated in the yogic tradition. This comes from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, verse 20. All the quarters of the universe are pervaded by the divine. And so I'll just say that again. Allow yourself to feel that. All the quarters of the universe are pervaded by the divine. What that means is, very practically, everywhere I find myself, at every moment, the divine is there also. And what that means is infinite wisdom is there also. That means that infinite kindness is there also. That means that guidance and support and love and insight and forgiveness and understanding and compassion and wholeness and healing is there also. And so at times of change, whether this is in our own bodies, our own lives, our families, our country, our world, it becomes even more important to stay in steady contact with the divine within ourselves. Keep quietly listening. And also at the outset, I was reminding us that if we are wanting to create something outwardly, it's created first spiritually. So whatever I'm wanting to create outwardly, whatever I would like to help make visible in time and space, I do it first through spiritual work. And so to rededicate myself to my loving, joyful connection with the divine. And I'll just pause and allow everyone to connect with what is an aspect of my spiritual ideal that I love and would love to strengthen right now. Just name that for yourself. And dedicate our next time meditating, as we continue meditating together, to strengthening your connection with that aspect of your spiritual ideal. And I'll just mention that as we meditate right now, we set in motion ongoing spiritual unfoldment. So you might notice later, you might be doing the dishes or taking a walk or taking care of the dog or the kids or to the car, whatever it is that you're doing, and you might notice, oh, that transformation that we set in motion earlier this morning, it's still unfolding. And so just notice and appreciate, or like while you sleep, or the next time you meditate, or tomorrow morning, you'll still be noticing these unfoldments that we set in motion right now. So all the quarters of the universe are pervaded by the divine. That means wholeness, kindness, generosity of spirit, willingness to keep going no matter what. It's with me always. And I have a couple of stories to share later that help us connect with that reality. I invite you as well to think about stories in your own life, in your own experience that help you connect with that reality. Another law of energy from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 14. The pairs of opposites exist in time and space. They come and go. They are temporary in their nature. Bear them patiently. So the pairs of opposites are everything that you encounter: heat and cold, pleasure and pain, gain and loss, victory and defeat, human things that you like, human things that you don't like. It's time and space. And what this says is move lightly through. your experiences in time and space, remaining in contact. In our opening meditation, we were connecting the heart of each of us. There's a fountain of light that is available always. Always there is a fountain of light available in the heart of each of us. And I will just mention one of the reasons why I think that is excellent to meditate on right now. Just connect right now with the feeling of a fountain of light in your heart. And notice that a fountain of light helps you open to clarity and peace. The fountain of light is flowing. It's in motion. And so it helps your energy stay really fresh and really renewed. And so this helps you if you are engaged with self-transforming any old energy patterns. The fountain of light helps just any old debris from those old energy patterns just melt away because of this flowing fountain of light. But also, and I'm inviting you to practice this right now, if you become aware of a wave of fear, like a broadcast of fear, it might be like a family member is experiencing it, a neighbor, you might be experiencing it, contact the fountain of light at the center of your heart, and then notice that wave of fear. It's possible just to dissolve into light if you remain in contact with that flowing fountain of light in the center of your heart. The fear wave just dissolves. And so this has incredibly practical, helpful consequences in our daily life if we stay in contact with this fountain of light at the center of our heart. Also, if you become aware of any human who's experiencing a wave of anger, stay centered in your heart in this fountain of light and just notice that wave of anger doesn't have any room to be in you if you are in contact with this fountain of light, and that fountain of light is flowing. It just keeps your energy fresh and circulating in such a way that that wave of anger passes by you. There's no room for it to kind of catch hold or stay stuck within you. And then this is a teaching from Swami Nityananda, the second part of today's talk. So the first part is open to clarity and peace. And he says, free of all tension, anger, and negativity. So if you're feeling any tension, if you're feeling any negativity, stay in contact with this fountain of light right at the center of your heart and notice what happens to the tension. It melts away in a way that brings actual physical relief, actual relaxation of the physical body. So this can help with sleep. This can help with you being in contact with the energy of wholeness if you're healing anything physically or emotionally or mentally or on any level. And then negativity, if you become aware of any negativity within yourself or within anyone else that they're experiencing it or feeling it or energizing it, stay in contact with this fountain of light at the center of your heart and just notice what happens. It transforms. There's no room for it in your energy field if you stay with that flowing fountain of light. So remember that this energy of wholeness is with you always. The energy of kindness is with you always. The energy of generosity of spirit is with you always, and that helps you to always be able and willing to keep moving forward no matter what it is that we're experiencing in time and space. So move lightly through the pairs of opposites. You're aware of the pairs of opposites. You're aware, humanly, I agree with some things, I don't agree with other things. I like some things, I don't like other things. But you move lightly through them. And when you're in contact with the fountain of light, you're able to know what is most helpful. What is the divine wanting to share in this moment, in this place, through me, that is most of service? Very often, this is going to be silently and in your energy, rather than something out loud in words. But if you do speak out loud in words, the energy, the quality, the consciousness, the healing, the light that shares through you will make your words more than just what your words are, if that makes sense, because you'll be transmitting this fountain of light in your words in such a way that people notice. Like you might be walking on the sidewalk or riding the bus or in the grocery store, and people will notice if you're in contact with the fountain of light. So you're giving yourself a great gift, and you're giving others a great gift also. So this week, the divine was giving me this very vivid memory from when I was a kid, and I'm about to share it. It helps everybody with meditation, and it helps everybody with time and space. So it's a universal story, even if you haven't experienced exactly what I'm about to describe. So when I was a kid, there was a man who taught me how to water ski on one ski. Has anyone here ever water skied? Okay, so yeah, like a handful of people. Has anyone ever water skied on one ski? A couple of people. Okay, so before he taught me, I knew how to ski on two skis, and I knew how to be on two skis, and you kind of circle around and drop a ski and stay up on one ski. But what he taught me was how, from the water, to get up on one ski, which is a harder proposition. Duality is more easily accessible. Unity, you can learn how to get up. And so I was just like smiling so much at this memory. So, and it has like a couple elements to the story. So first I'll just share the story, but I was like bawling with appreciation. And it helps all of us. It helps every human. So I had a friend who lived on a lake, and she and her family did not have a boat, but her neighbor had a boat. He didn't know me. He didn't know me at all. But he was going to teach my friend how to get up on one water ski. And she was like, my friend's here. Would you teach her also? And he was like, sure. Okay. And so here's what I learned from him. And I was also realizing, with respect and love, he did use words, but mostly he was transmitting the understanding. And so this is why it's so important to have living embodied examples. You are living embodied examples of living in the energy of wholeness, living in the energy of kindness, living in the energy of generosity of spirit, and it makes such a difference. So I think my friend and I were pretty quick learners, but what he said was, you center your weight over the ski, you keep your ski pointed in the direction that you want to go, and you allow yourself to be lifted up. And that is what we do in meditation. That is what happens. And I will actually invite everyone a little bit later at the Spiritual Eye to practice this. That is what we do in meditation. Welcome. I'm Swami Nityananda. If you are enjoying this content, please like, share, and subscribe. Please also subscribe to our free Substack newsletter available at the link below this video. Thank you for helping joy travel. And so here's what I noticed about this. Again, I think my friend and I both learned pretty quickly. And he was willing to circle back around as many times as it took. That was one of the things that made it easy for us to learn really quickly. He did not say this with words. He just showed it. He was completely willing to circle back around as many times as it took. And so what he gave my friend and me was wholeness. It was kindness. It was sharing for no reason at all, just motiveless. Just sharing wholeness and kindness, not looking for anything, just sharing out of pure joy. And the willingness, he was willing to circle back as many times as it took. Now, 10 years prior to his teaching me how to water ski, he had been told by his doctors, make your arrangements, you're going to leave the body right now. 10 years later, he was still there teaching me to water ski. And I didn't have a big conversation with him about his philosophy of life, but what he demonstrated was he was living in the energy of wholeness. He was living in the energy of kindness. He was living in the energy of sharing. He was living in the energy of being willing to circle back around as many times as it took. And certainly that helped him be here in the body 10 years after he was told, you're not going to be here in the body. He loved his wife. He had a beautiful wife. He loved his kid. He had a beautiful kid. And so just for you all, you don't know what the future is going to bring. I shared with you a teaching from the Buddha a couple of weeks ago. Whatever you think it is, it turns out to be something else. Live in the energy of wholeness now. And that's what you're creating for yourself ongoingly. Live in the energy of kindness now, and that's what you're creating for yourself ongoingly. Keep yourself centered. Keep yourself pointing in the direction you want to go. Allow yourself to be lifted up into oneness, into unity. Another thing that I was just smiling at quite a lot when I was looking back, his boat was not particularly fast. I realize that now. His boat was not particularly new. I realize that now. I don't think my childhood self had any awareness of that. So don't let yourself be stopped by thinking, I just have this old boat. It doesn't even go very fast. You have so much to share. And it's always really just the energy of wholeness and kindness and generosity of spirit, and the willingness to circle back around as many times as it takes. And I want to talk about that for just a moment, because over the last weeks, different people in different contexts have said to me in various ways, humans, why are we still doing these old energy patterns? Why are we still making these choices? Humans, I'm frustrated, I'm feeling impatient. If you feel that way, honestly acknowledge it, but then be willing to circle back around as many times as it takes. Because what helps humans learn is if you stay in the energy of wholeness, if you stay in the energy of kindness, generosity of spirit, and you're willing to circle back around as many times as it takes. And that's what made it really easy for my friend and me to learn, because there was no rush. There was no push. There was just support. And he knew we could do this. And so for yourself, stay in steady contact with that. Stay in steady contact with whatever you want to create in time and space. It is your lovely obligation to create that first in yourself. And so just as others, and Swami Nityananda is certainly one of these others, have been willing to circle back around for us as many times as it takes, be willing to circle back around for others as many times as it takes. And for yourself, if you are feeling any frustration or impatience with your own spiritual progress, someone asked me, am I a slow learner? The answer is no, no one's a slow learner. Everyone's a perfect learner. You're always at the right place in the right time, and the divine is always with you. Wholeness and kindness and generosity are always with you. So if you have that feeling of frustration with yourself and you're wondering, why is my mind still thinking these old thoughts? Why am I still working on healing this old pain within myself? Wholeness, kindness, generosity of spirit for yourself. And be willing to circle back around as many times as it takes for yourself. And then you'll be able to also share that with everyone else you come into contact with as well. So a couple of other things, and then I really will invite us to meditate a little at the spiritual eye. But I became aware, this was like a few weeks ago, I was talking to someone, the person was asking me a question, and they had the radio on, and there was this kind of commentary, like these two talking heads were talk, 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 talk. And I said to the person who had asked me the question, do you mind if we turn that down? That will help me hear you better. And the person said, I don't even hear it. It's on all the time in the background. And so it just made me ask, and I'm asking this for everyone's benefit, but what scripts am I allowing to run in the background? And they're just kind of always there, and I don't even know them. And so there's a process of, it's not always comfortable, because often those are the scripts that we acquired kind of unconsciously when we were younger. And it's the scripts that are painful, like the scripts of self-judgment, the scripts of self-shame, or the scripts of anger, the scripts of sadness or fear. And so there's a self-pacing to this process, but as you meditate, and as you're willing to look clearly at your own patterns with kindness and with awareness, you will gradually become aware that script has been running in the background and I haven't even been noticing it. And so love yourself so much that you establish yourself in that fountain of light, and then you basically allow that script to come into your conscious awareness. And you look at it and you say, is this strengthening me? Is this helping me to be of service? Is this helping me to be present and loving in my daily life? And if it's not, how may I keep any wisdom that I can gain in relation to this? But then just allow it to dissolve. Allow the fountain of light to just let that script go. And so be willing to just love yourself and be with yourself and allow that script to dissolve in the fountain of light. And then consciously formulate for yourself. If I were not playing that running commentary, that running script in the background, what would I love to hear? This can be super simple. It can be just like, I'm willing to be kind to myself. I'm willing to bring the energy of kindness into my relationship with my body. I'm willing to bring the energy of kindness into my relationship with my mind. I'm willing to bring the energy of kindness into my relationship with my human heart. And be steady with that. Love yourself so much that the fountain of light energizes that and fills you with kindness. And I'll just mention the person who was asking, am I a slow learner? You're not a slow learner. No one is a slow learner. But if you feel like you're wrestling with your mind a little bit because you're becoming aware of, oh, that script has been running in the background, if you bring the energy of kindness into your own mind ceases to feel like a problem to you. And so there's an instant feeling of relief and release. And I'll just mention, the Buddha also offers a very similar teaching. This is from Digha Nikaya. He says, from ease, the mind becomes calm and still. And I'll just say that again, from ease, the mind becomes calm and still. That means not from wrestling with the mind, or condemning the mind, or fighting it, or blaming it, but from ease, from kindness in relation to the mind. The mind becomes calm and still. He also offers the corollary teaching. He says, from focusing on dissatisfaction, the mind does not become calm and still. So we know this. We know that if I'm focusing on a feeling of negativity in relation to my mind, it does not help my mind become calm and still. And so you actually can also use that as an indicator as well. Is my pattern of thinking right now helping my mind be filled with ease and kindness? And if it's not, just notice, offer it into the fountain of light and allow it to transform. And consciously formulate for yourself, if I were not thinking this thought, which is giving me dissatisfaction, what would I love to think instead? What would I love to energize instead? So the Buddha's word for it here is ease, but your word for it can be whatever you want it to be. And so, for example, if you have been feeling fear, you might choose to feel love instead, because perfect love casts out fear. And so that's a really wonderful counterpoint. If you become aware of fear within yourself, just say, perfect love casts out fear. And I'm offering that energy of fear into the fountain of light at the center of my being. And I'm willing to let it be transformed into the energy of perfect love. And so right now, I'm going to invite us to close our eyes and become aware of the space between and above your eyebrows at the center of the forehead. I'm actually putting 3 of my fingers here right now. You're welcome to do that if you like. It just helps you become aware of this energetic center. And then you can take your fingers away, but then keep your focus between and above the eyebrows at the center of the forehead. And what the yogis say is that the chakra, the energy center, that is here, between and above the eyebrows at the center of the forehead, has 2 petals. Traditionally, yogis say that these are wings that help lift us up in consciousness. And often they identify those 2 wings as love and wisdom. If you like, kindness and discernment also work. So just tune into what your names for that are. So it might be the energy of love, might be the energy of kindness, might be the energy of awareness, clarity. And so at this space between and above the eyebrows at the center of the forehead, allow yourself to be filled with the energy of love, the energy of wisdom, the energy of your spiritual ideal. And you're allowing all of your energy to move from the base of the spine up the length of the spine to this space between and above the eyebrows at the center of the forehead. And you simply allow yourself to remain here, steady and sweet and open. And you allow yourself to be lifted into light and kindness. You allow yourself to be lifted into oneness. This is a meditation you can return to as often as you like. And right now, I would invite you to flow that energy of clarity and peace through your entire body, all the way down to the bottoms of your toes. And then allow your entire physical body to be filled with that energy of clarity and peace. So you can visualize that it fills your feet, your ankles, your calves, your shins, your knees, your thighs, your core, your shoulders, your whole back, your whole front, the whole center of you, your arms, your hands, your neck, your face, your head. And this energy of clarity and peace helps you be here in embodiment. It helps you be strong and steady and sweet and kind and open and present and responsive and wise and generous in daily life. It helps you love life fully every moment. It helps you live in the energy of wholeness and kindness and sharing fully every moment. And as you live in that energy, we never meditate for ourselves alone. This energy transmits through our family, our friends, our neighbors, anywhere that we find ourselves. It transmits around the planet, transmits all the way down to the core of the earth and out into the universe. And it always comes back to us. And so pay steady attention to this fountain of light that is at the center of your heart. And from moment to moment, you will be in a constant flow of fresh energy, of guidance, of knowing what is helpful and what is hopeful, what is kind and what is wise. And naturally and spontaneously, and very often it happens wordlessly, right in the midst of daily life, this fountain of light will be sharing through you, using your talents and using your skill sets. So as you stay in this energy of the fountain of light, you help make available what is eternally true and real for all those hearts that are calling out for clarity and peace. Thank God, and God bless us all.